lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the lesbian detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And guys, do you see that face over there? It's clear. My wife does not have the... What has happened to your face again?
I had an allergic reaction.
Allergic reaction, guys. It's moved now. She's back, and she's the most beautiful thing ever.
Aww. So sweet.
But it took like, what, 2-3 days?
No, and I'm still itchy a little bit. But yeah, it did take a couple of days.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, she's back, and this week has been a long week, guys. But we're here to give you this episode, and I have so many people sending me so many suggestions of cases, and I'm like, guys, slow down. I'm getting there. But I will have all you guys' cases ready to go sooner or later. But you know my favorite word. Now let's get into the episode. Before we begin today's case, I want you to imagine a quiet morning in early May of 1999. A small town in Alabama is just starting to wake up. The sun is rising slowly. The air still warm from the spring night before. Most people are still asleep. The roads are empty. The world feels calm, peaceful. Just a few hours earlier, a young couple had been spending time with family. It was Mother's Day weekend, and the evening had been filled with the kind of ordinary moments people rarely think twice about. Conversation, laughter, and the plans for the next day. They stayed late. Eventually, sometime after midnight, they said their goodbyes, gathered their sleeping toddler, and headed back to their trailer. Nothing seemed unusual. Nothing seemed wrong. But sometime after they returned, something terrible happened inside that small trailer. By the time morning arrived, 2 lives had been taken. Their little girl was still inside, alive. And the person responsible was gone. No witnesses, no clear motive. And more than 2 decades later, the question still remains. What really happened inside that trailer that night? This is a case of Candice Kyser and David Keller. Candice Kyser was born on May 6, 1980 in Alabama to Sheila and Bruce. She was one of 4 children, an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister. From a young age, Candice loved dancing, even attended the Robinson School of Dance. Her Aunt Regina remembers her vividly. We never had a typical aunt-niece relationship. We grew up together. She was a year older than me. As a child, she had a great imagination. We were always on some kind of adventure. One day, diamond miners, the next carving stairs in a dirt hill. She loved playing school and was always the teacher. We spent a lot of time singing in the mirror with our hairbrush microphones. She could be bossy, but she was caring and protective of those she loved. David Allen Keller was born almost a year before Candice, May 15, 1979. He grew up with 1 brother and 3 sisters and played football. His upbringing was not easy. His father passed away when David was very young. His mother struggled to cope and eventually entered a mental health facility. Afterwards, David and his siblings went to live with their uncle. Despite hardship, David was grown, devoted, and kind. He met Candice in middle school, and their bond lasted through high school. By 16, Candice became pregnant, giving birth to their daughter, Kayla. In 1997, even as young parents, they embraced responsibility fully. Regina recalls Candice as a wonderful mother who would do anything for Kayla, and David as someone determined to provide for his family, no matter what. In 1999, Candice and David moved to Russell County, about 3.5 hours northeast from their home in Sarah Land. Candice's parents moved with them, working at the local mill. David worked as an apprentice plumber, and Candice stayed home to care for Kayla, studying for her GED and tended to her garden. By May 6, 1999, both were 19, living their routine. David went to work, Candice cared for Kayla. They had no idea their lives were about to be shattered. The evening of May the 7th, Mother's Day weekend, they spent with Candice's family. Everything seemed perfect. Candice's brother had come from out of town. Laughter, conversation, the quiet of warmth of family filled the room. Later that night, just after midnight, Candice and David returned to their home, plans for the next day still in mind, unaware it would be their last day alive. The next morning, May the 8th, Sheila, Candice's mother, tried to call her daughter. No answer. Calls went unanswered. Her concern grew. Something was wrong. She drove to the mobile home, knocking on the front door. Nothing. Back door, still nothing. Peering through a window, she saw Kayla alone. Panic set in. She climbed through the window and stepped into a nightmare. In Candice's bedroom lay her daughter, shot. Sheila grabbed Kayla and ran outside. There, near the front door, was David, also shot. Both were found in the same clothes they had worn the day before. The couple's tiny daughter had been alone in the home for hours as her parents lay dead just rooms away. Whether the killer knew she was there or intentionally spared her remains unknown. One theory is that Candice may have hidden her daughter just before she died.
Authorities arrived quickly at the mobile home in Fort Mitchell, but from the very beginning, the investigation was riddled with flaws. There was no weapon at the scene, nothing to point clearly to who could have committed this horrendous act. The motive was a complete mystery. No robbery had occurred, though one of Candace's rings and a single necklace may have been missing. Much of the jewelry remained untouched, left behind as if the killer had no interest in valuables at all. David had recently reported stolen heavy equipment from his job. It seemed like a lead that could have offered insight into the murder, but that lead was never pursued. Questions about who might have known about the equipment or whether it could have drawn the attention of the wrong person were never explored. Outside the home, investigators found cigarette butts and beer bottles that did not belong to either Candice or David, a potential goldmine of evidence, biological material, fingerprints, DNA. But according to Regina, these items were never tested. Nothing was done to determine if they could reveal the identity of the intruder. Adding to the frustration, Candice's mother had been keeping a notebook of her own observations, notes she thought could aid the investigation, reflections on her daughter and the family, details only a mother could know. That notebook was confiscated by authorities and never returned. Every lead that might have shed light on the murders was ignored or dismissed. Requests to re-examine the case with modern forensic techniques like DNA testing have so far gone unanswered. Neighbors reported hearing nothing that night, which was unusual in the trailer park, where the quiet is usually punctuated by the sound of a car engine or barking dogs. Silence except for the unthinkable. Authorities even tried to frame the incident as a murder-suicide, despite absolutely no evidence to support such a theory. The more you examine this case, the more impossible it becomes to understand Candice and David had no known enemies. They were not involved with drugs or criminal activity. They were not the type to provoke someone or make enemies. A jealous ex partner seemed unlikely. They had been together since middle school, growing up side by side, their bond unwavering, and yet someone entered their home, killed them in cold blood, and vanished without a trace. Candace and David were ordinary, beautiful people, middle school sweethearts, devoted parents, building a life of hope. And yet that life was stolen in a single night. Their daughter Kayla grew up without them. She is now an adult, recently graduating from college, but the shadow of that morning in May 1999 still shapes the legacy of her life. A life defined by loss, a life shaped by the absence of the people who should have guided it. Regina Lloyd, Candace's aunt, refused to give up. She has tirelessly pursued justice, reaching out to the state attorney general, the FBI, even the president of the United States, anyone who could help reopen the case. Despite her efforts, she has received no meaningful answers. Determined not to let her niece and her family be forgotten, Regina runs a Facebook page, Justice for Candace and David, hoping that someone, anyone, might come forward with information that could finally bring resolution to this tragedy. The question remains, who killed Candice Kyser and David Keller? Why? Did they act alone? Was this carefully planned, or was it a crime of opportunity that escalated into something horrific? And why was their child spared, left to endure a night no toddler should ever know? A $10,000 reward is being offered, $5,000 for information on Candace, $5,000 for information on David. The Russell County Sheriff's Office urges anyone with knowledge, no matter how small it may seem, to come forward. They can call 334-298-6535 or visit rcso.org/investigations.html. Candace and David were laid to rest side by side at Forest Lawn Memorial Garden in Saraland, Alabama. The story is more than a cold case. It's a family's heartbreak, a community's unanswered questions, and a young woman's life forever marked by tragedy she could never comprehend. Remember the names Candice Kyser, David Keller, and remember that even decades later, justice can still be found. If you know something, anything, speak up for their daughter Kayla, for their family, for the truth. You can also follow the family's Facebook page, Justice for Candace and David, to share tips, updates, and help keep their story alive. Facebook.com/Justice for Candace and David. A $10,000 reward awaits anyone with information leading to an arrest. Before we end this case, I want to take a moment to remember the two people at the center of the story. Candice Kyser and David Keller were just 19 and 20 years old. They were young, full of life, and trying to build a future together. They were parents to a little girl who meant everything to them. Like so many young couples, they were working, making plans, and doing their best to create a life for their family. But in the early morning hours of May 8, 1999, that future was taken away. Candace and David never got a chance to see their daughter grow up. They never got to watch her first day of school, cheer for her at graduation, or be there for the many moments that make up a lifetime. Their daughter Kayla had to grow up without the two people who loved her the most. And for their families, the pain of that loss has never truly faded. For more than 2 decades, they've lived with the same questions that still don't have answers. Who did this? Why did it happen? And how can someone walk away from a crime like this and never be held accountable? Candace and David were more than a cold case. They were a daughter and a son, a sister and a brother, a young couple who loved each other and loved their child. And their family has never stopped fighting for them. Candace's aunt Regina continues to speak out and keep their story alive, hoping that one day someone will come forward with a piece of information that finally brings the truth to light. Because someone out there knows something. Maybe it was something they saw. Maybe it was something they heard years ago. Or maybe it's something someone confessed in a moment they thought no one would remember. But even after all this time, that truth still matters. Even the smallest detail could be one of the things that finally help bring justice to Candice, to David, and to the family who has spent more than 20 years waiting for the truth. Because no family should ever have to wait this long for answers. And Candice and David deserve to be remembered, not just for how their lives ended, but for the love, hope, and future they were building together. Thank you for listening and for helping to keep their story alive. This is the case of Candice Kyser and David Keller. Now let's get into some theories.
Dewey's.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Good.
So with this case, I feel like it's an inside job. I feel like it's a cop.
It could be.
Because for the cops not even to try, like they had DNA evidence. They didn't run it, they didn't do nothing. And I wonder, they took the mom notebook. I wonder if she was close to figuring out who it was. Because they never gave it back. To me, it's like, what did she put in that notebook for you not to give it back?
Right.
She was like, here's the notes I'm taking, like look at these people. And I feel like they looked at the list and was like, oh shoot, she's close. Let's keep this to ourselves. I wonder if she can even remember, like, okay, I put this name down. It probably even the smallest thing that she put down that was so important. She didn't even realize how important it was. So I wonder if that notebook tell a story. I just feel like the police are just hiding so much.
Right.
And it's like, why are you guys hiding and not even trying to solve this case?
Right.
I wonder because David was working and they was living in a trailer park. Did he see something like he wasn't supposed to see, you know?
Yeah.
And then what if he saw it and he really didn't care? He was like, oh, okay. Like he just walked off. Like, you know how sometimes people like see stuff like they not supposed to see, but they really didn't even notice it. Like I wonder that, you know?
Saw something in the trailer park?
Or like while he was working or anything. Or even was Candice. Like, you know, I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's the police. I think it's the police.
It could be. One thing that jumped out the most to me is they lived in a trailer park. There's a lot of people. And they said that in a trailer park, you can hear everything. The walls are super thin. And for nobody to hear nothing is very sus to me, especially when they were shot. A firearm, it's loud.
Right.
You could put the silencer on, but it's still going to be, you're still going to hear something. If you can hear a car turn on, an engine running, you can hear the shot. So to me, I'm thinking, what if it was somebody in the trailer park?
Yeah, I agree.
We have seen several of these shows, My Crazy Neighbor or My...
Oh, yeah, I love that shows.
And it's like, it could be something so petty or something so insignificant for somebody, but it really just rattles a neighbor or a certain person the wrong way.
Right,
And they can take it further.
right.
To me, that is one of my theories. And maybe the police department is just not on their stuff. I know we always say, okay, it could be a cop, because it's like they're bearing evidence. But the reason, my theory, somebody who lives in a trailer park, they could have connections. But to me, it's kind of unlikely.
Okay.
Because if you don't, like, money talks. So a trailer park to me, unless they're like related by blood or something, I don't really see them having as many connections like that.
I mean, we don't know.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
Not, at least not with the police. Like, they could have connections somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it was one case that we saw that there was a case suggestion where the girl mother was like unalive, and like the person who might be responsible had connections with the police and all the high powered people. So it's like anything could happen.
Usually, like in low income neighborhoods, the police doesn't really waste their resources as much because they're on a tighter budget, or they just neglect
Or if it was a CI,
CI.
you know, like a person that helped the police like solve cases, like they hear things and they're like, oh, like I heard so and so doing this, and then like, okay, you might like they did a legal act and they made them a CI, like, hey, I keep you out of jail if you tell me this information.
I could be.
Like, I have seen a lot of stories about people being CIs and they commit so many crimes, but the police are letting them slide because they need them to help with their case. It was a Law and Order episode.
Another thing is, I wonder if they were just shot once, or if somebody, like, say, if the husband was targeted a little bit heavier than the wife, or if they were targeted the same. I want to know, because that'll kind of tell you who they were after. Another theory could be somebody that David worked with, or he was kind of accusing somebody of stealing his tools or
Yeah.
something like that.
His tools got stolen.
And it could have happened at the trailer park. It could have happened at a job site. Like, you don't know. You're making accusations. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you mess with the wrong person, or if the wrong person feels threatened or offended in any way, they like, there's no telling how they're going to react.
Right. I agree with you. Do you think the person was waiting inside for them? That's where I'm kind of like, because they was with their family a long time and they didn't come back until midnight. That's a long time to be waiting. But as you said, if they was like living in a trailer park, they could saw them when they came in. But like, what if the person who stayed in the trailer park, everybody was scared of?
I don't believe that the person was waiting for them inside their home, because they would have had their baby with them. And it seems like the baby was already like put to bed, or the baby was not.
Anybody's hands.
So I don't think so. I think that person came in. It could have been a neighbor asking for something. Like, I mean, I used to open the door for
You did.
anyone,
You did.
and you told me not to. So now I know. But I would just open the door. They were young. They say that they weren't really like cheating on each other or involved in any criminal activity. So to me, it just seems like they upset the wrong person for whatever reason. And to me, it doesn't even, I mean, no reason is enough to take somebody's life. At least not to me, but other people that are not okay mentally might think otherwise.
I always wonder how their body was laid. Like when they got shot, like was David towards the door, like kind of running, but I don't see him running from that situation. Like he would probably got his daughter and ran. You know, if Candice was shot first, so I wonder if, say, Kayla and Candice went in first, and then she's like finna put the baby in. Say that he's getting the bags, you know, like taking everything in. In time he came in, the person is right there, pow. And Candice like, oh my God, I need to hide my baby, or I need to put her down. Like I need to protect myself. But we all know trailers aren't that big. So it's like 2 steps and he shot her. I feel like that's a possibility. Like, you know, he probably came in after them while Kayla, like with Candice was already putting Kayla down.
I think the suspect came in, knew who he needed to target, and it almost, I don't know how many bedrooms this trailer had, but either they spared the baby or they went into the first room. The suspect saw both of them and then just shot both of them and left and ran.
Because I feel like even if baby was asleep, she would have cried because of that sound. Because that would have wake a baby up. But guys, that's our theories. I mean, we was really killing any theories today. We are on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. So give us a 5-star rating, like, comment, and subscribe. This episode was out there, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the next episode. I have been working on it for like 2 weeks, getting all the information for you guys. This next episode is a good one too, and our 100th episode is coming up soon, guys. Tell me what case I should do. I want to hear what you think. What is a good case for our 100th episode? For our 100th episode, I cannot wait to hear. Thank you for listening to us, guys. This is Last Minute Detectives. Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.